Coming up on this special episode of the Nerd Hat podcast, I sit down for an interview with Keith Jardine, who played Todd on the dark comedy Over Your Dead Body, which was the centerpiece film of the RiverRun International Film Festival. It played on both Wednesday and Thursday during the festival week at both the Haynesbrand Theater and Marketplace Cinema. Will and I got a chance to see it on Wednesday evening, and we met Keith afterwards, and we set up an interview. So we're excited to share that with you. And then following the interview with Keith, myself and Will are going to pitch the film, give our review of it, and pitch it to Laura, who did not get a chance to see it. Kind of one of our classic review style episodes that will follow the interview with Keith. Hope you enjoy it, nerds. Nerdy.
Nostalgic.
Madly inappropriate.
This
is Nerd Hat.
Nerd Hat, I was late. Why am I a robot?
Nerd Hatters. I am here with actor, writer, director Keith Jardine. He plays Todd, or played Todd, I guess, past tense, but the movie is currently out in theaters. Over Your Dead Body, played at RiverRun right before its wide release, and Will and I got a chance to see it and to meet Keith afterwards, and it's kind of along with a connect via Michael Morin. It's how this interview came about. So Keith, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me on, man. It was great to meet you guys over there.
Absolutely. So was this your first time in Winston-Salem?
First time in Winston-Salem. I just got back from New York, and it was great. It was a little freezing in New York, and got a little warm weather in Winston. In fact, I was just chilling around. I lay down in the park, took my shirt off one day, and just killing time, and it was amazing.
Nice.
I don't know why that's important now, but that's what I remember about it.
I enjoy Winston weather. You get all four seasons, and none of them are too extreme. It's really nice. Well, cool. Well, so I assume this is also your first time at RiverRun. Have you been to many film festivals over the years?
Yeah, I had a short film that I ran through film festivals. We did pretty well, won a lot of awards with that. That led to my feature film. I only did one film festival with that. We went to distribution right away with that one. I don't know. I still kind of feel like I missed out on the film festivals on that. I don't know if it's too late to enter, but anyway, I missed out on that. But RiverRun always popped up. I think I considered entering my feature into that once, but it was a great film festival. It's a great town. Like getting around the people. It seems like a real art community there. Everybody's really into the arts there, and I guess they have a real good fund for the arts there. And I think that's why it's such a good local turnout for the film festival. I walked around a lot. I got to see the art district and all that, and I walked in all the stores, and that's what I do when I find a new place. I just walk, man. Like driving around stinks. Nothing better than walking around.
I hear that.
Yeah. What else? I remember on Winston-Salem. It occurred to me at the end that Winston-Salem is like Winston cigarettes, right?
Yeah. R.G. Reynolds Tobacco Company. Yeah.
All that. So I found the best little cigar lounge. I watched the NFL draft at before we did the screening there. It was called Top Leaf Cigar Lounge.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of it.
I had a blast there. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've done a few cigars in my time. Yeah. Mostly just black and milds. I've tried a few of the big ones and not my speed. I don't know. But I just haven't got the right one, I think. Or I can't afford the nicer ones. Maybe that's a bigger one.
Nah, like you can get a good cigar for around $10, $12. I don't drink a lot. I barely drink at all. So it's really cool just to hang out in a social environment and do something that's not necessarily bad for you and just just be social. You know?
Yeah, no, I hear that. Well, cool. Well, I'm glad you had a good time in Winston.
The theater, we had two screenings, man. They were great, man. Like ruckus, dude. Even the first screening, I don't want to disparage anybody, but I'm not. Like I said, it's an art community. There was a lot of like older people there, and like a gray haired older people, which is wonderful. But I didn't know if they would appreciate this kind of slasher, rowdy kind of fun kind of thing, like I thought they were there for like serious dramas and all that, but the crowd was just ruckus, man, and then they got it, man. They laughed all the way through, and I had a heck of an experience with that, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that myself. Yeah, I didn't know if it'd be the type of film that would play that well at a festival either, and yeah, everybody enjoyed it.
And the second screening in the theater it just blew up too, man. So it was great. It was more
nice,
like regular people going to watch a movie.
Yeah, Zach and his family do a good job running Marketplace over there. They've been doing that for almost 25 years now, I think.
Yeah.
Good local theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they appreciated you making time to be at both Q&As. Not too many people make it to 2 Q&As. I know back-to-back helped out, but yeah, I know Michael
You
and
know,
the RiverRun team really appreciated that.
I'm just really, like you said, I'm a writer director, and so I've had my own babies. You do everything for that,
Mhm.
but being a part of this film, I'm just so proud of it. I've seen it like 10 times in a theater, and it never gets old. And it's because I'm proud of it. Like I'm proud to be part of this team, part of this collaboration to make this thing work that has such an effect on the audience. I mean, that's art, right? To really affect an audience, and like I'm just Yorma's so amazing, the director, and I'm just so proud to be part of this. Like I just don't want this run to end, you know?
No, I hear that. So I know in hearing you share with at the Q&A, following our screening, and then just doing a bit of research on your career as well, that you've kind of had 2 careers, so to speak, more than 2 jobs, but like you had some time as a MMA fighter, and that sort of led to, if I'm not mistaken, led to your career in acting. Like, do you want to talk a bit about how that all went down? And
Yeah, that was, I had my biggest fight. I always considered wanted to be in movies. I come from a real small town, and movies were like my escapism, and always thought about being an actor. I probably didn't think I was good looking enough or something like that. And then on the reality show, I did the Tough 2, the season 2 of the reality show for Ultimate Fighting. One of the producers at Spike said, "Hey, you'd be a really great in movies. You got a good look." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Wow, that's cool." And I started considering it. And then my biggest fight, I beat Chuck Liddell. And 2 days afterwards, I was at a small cafe in a small town in New Mexico. And Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor were at the same cafe, and they stopped me when I was leaving, and real nervous, like, "Hey, we just saw your fight last week and whatever. And we got this little movie playing up in Albuquerque. If you wouldn't mind, would you be interested in reading for something?" And it was like that. Oh, absolutely. I always want to be in movies. So I went out there. They print me out some lines, and I did a read, and they liked it, and they put me in their movie. I read for Terry Crews's part, and they already had him, but that's what I read for, and so they wrote a part in for me, and that was Gamer with Jerry Butler. Mark and Brian were the writer-directors of the Crank franchise, and so that's how I got my SAG card, and that's how I got my start.
that's pretty cool. You get to almost out of the gate working with Gerard Butler. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun, man. It was a blast, man. I was just like I got the bug right away, man, and then I did some crummy movies and whatever movies, and then, it led to a career of stunts and acting, and then just acting.
So yeah, I saw you had kind of a variety there, a decent amount of stunt work, and some films where you had like both a small part and some stunt work. Like, obviously, we're a nerdy podcast. We cover a lot of comic book films. I couldn't help but notice that you were in Logan. What was that experience like?
That
With
was pure stunts. Like, I did John Wick 2, that was more acting. I think I said a couple lines in that and whatever. That paid the bills as I was trying to become an actor, trying to, learn the craft and getting respected as an actor. Like, to say a few words and do some action really paid the bills for a long time, and that's what Logan was just not even words, it was just I was just, one of the military gunmen in the back of the truck. I think I almost died a couple times there, but it was great, man. It was a blast. We were in the I was a gunner in the back of a truck, holding a big gun and,
nice.
running through the, woods in Chama, New Mexico, hitting these turns and whatever, and a couple times, like, nearly missing a tree. One time he slammed on the brakes that he was gonna hit the tree, and I'm just trying to stay on my feet, and I'm not actually. I'm falling down, getting tossed around in the truck, man. That was a rowdy one for sure. But, Scott Frank is a writer of that, and he won, an Oscar for that. And completely unrelated, one of my first big roles was a series regular in the Western Godless, which he wrote and directed. And that's a Western they shot here in New Mexico that was a Netflix Western. Wonderful Western. It's a great story with Jack O'Connell.
And I noticed you also had a 3-episode stint on Shameless, and like I imagine that was, well, I wouldn't say I knew what the life was like on the ship, but my wife and I have been big fans of The Bear. So I saw you at least had one scene with Jeremy Allen White. Was he pretty cool to work with?
Yeah, he was amazing. Steve Howie, though, I didn't work with him, but we got along the most, man. Like, you know him. He's I don't know how to say it. He was in the interracial couple.
Right, right.
Yeah, wonderful human, big guy. He's a big athletic guy. But yeah, we got on really well, and he really took me in and made me feel comfortable on that set. Yeah, that I was proud of that one. That was one of my first real acting bits. That was just like no physicality, nothing. It was just I did an audition with a whole bunch of other people, and I got that bit just for acting.
Now I was curious something I was thinking about. Now, obviously, when you have stunt work or fight scenes, which you certainly do have in Over Your Dead Body, it's kind of a given that your MMA, helps you prepare you for things like that. But were there any other aspects of your MMA training that you felt have informed or helped you in your acting craft?
Had a realization once. I'm flying to LA doing auditions all the time, spending all my money trying to meet these casting directors and go to auditions that I barely have a chance to get, and all that. And then I realized that my work ethic, I'm only working on acting when I get an audition. And I learned that, like, I'm competing with seasoned actors that's done theater, that's done college, and that's been acting since they were kids. And so my learning curve needs to be really steep. I started training for acting like I trained for fighting, where you put time in every day, no matter what, um, just to get better, just improve your craft every day. I found, joined different classes and that kind of stuff. So when I started really putting the work in, um, then I started to harvest those fruits pretty soon after.
No, that makes sense. I know along the way, I noticed you have had a chance. I don't know. I know it varies on set. Sometimes you're working with the assistant director or the second unit director. So I know that varies. But I know for a few of your films, you worked with people that are like considered, I guess, auteurs or artistic filmmakers, quote unquote. People like when you worked on Inherent Vice with Paul Thomas Anderson or uh, and were there any directors, and maybe you learned a little bit from each one that kind of informed or inspired you as you eventually moved into doing that yourself? Like,
Yeah, I'm a sponge. Paul Thomas Anderson, of course, was my break as far as like now I can always have this because he don't care about your history as a fighter or anything. Like he's a real artist. He's like the director of our time, the Kiro Kurosawa of our time, and to be selected by him and put in his movie and all that was really like as many actors, almost every actor, their bucket list is to be in a Paul Thomas Anderson film.
hmm.
So I got to do that alongside Joaquin Phoenix, and so that was always something I hang my hat on, and that really elevated my career. I learned from everybody, talking about everybody. Jorma Taccone on Over Your Dead Body was just like, I really love the way he runs a set, the way he handles himself, and cool under pressure and all that. Joe Carnahan, though, has been a mentor of mine, and I've been on a couple of his shows, and he helps me with my shows and all that. But he's been the biggest mentor of mine, and he's a true writer, director, man, and the way he runs a set, man, he just runs that set and creates an environment that you're just happy to be there playing music, whatever, but then get to work, and he expects everybody to know their job and to do work, so it's great, man.
I imagine you've run into a variety of directors. I mean, some have a reputation of being very much an actor's director, and
That was
others,
Jorma.
Yorma. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's Paul too. Paul, like whatever's on the page, like watching him work and all that, like the page is important, but it's also just kind of a guideline. Like let's get to what's real in the moment, and that's what he was all about. And Yorma was the same way. Like let's just figure the scene out. Like we know what the scene wants to be. Like I got a thing on my head to what it looks like, but you get these different actors in playing characters and bringing these characters to life. Another life is gonna come to this scene, and just to be open to it and still direct it toward where you want to go, but to be open to letting it come to life on its own.
So I know in the Q&A, and I guess we're transitioned fully to talking about Over Your Dead Body now. In the Q&A afterwards, you mentioned, I think if I understood you correctly, a moment that you got to improvise with Samara Weaving, one of the scenes where you had to kind of get up close and personal with her.
The boop scene.
Yeah, the boop scene.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like you see this. Well, a lot of that was improvised. Like a lot of the things, like Jason Segel, ceviche, when he's trying to say it in a copy or English accent, that was improvised. There's a lot of stuff. What was improvised also? You mean my boat rocks? One of my favorite lines. All that was improvised, but yeah, it was just written. Like I go down and I take Jason to the bathroom. I have dialogue with him, and then with Samara, like I just get close to her and like she says, "You're not supposed to touch us," and I'm not touching you. And then the toilet flushes and you go get Jason out of the bathroom. But like that's what Yorma did, is like we just played that. He let me play with that, and I turned it into a whole scene where like I'm kind of torturing. I'm playing with her like she's my little sister, whatever. And I did the boop. I don't know where that came from, but I was trying to make her laugh. Honestly, like I was trying to get an emotion from her, and it did it. And she broke one of them. I think the first time I did that, she broke, and I was made my day.
Yeah, I noticed I'm assuming after you did that, they probably maybe put it in later. You had a callback later on, another
I
boop
did that.
later.
Nobody
You did
put
that
that
too?
in. I
Nice.
just did that. Yeah, that's how fun it was, man. We're all just having fun, collaborating, and if you make them laugh at the video village, you know you're doing a good job.
No, I love a good comedic callback, whether it's in stand up
Yeah.
or in a film. Like, yeah, it
Well, if
just
you're a writer
pulls you
too,
back
right?
to the yeah, right.
If you're a writer, there's nothing better than like that thing you wrote earlier. Oh shit, that works here. There's no better feeling than that, man. Right?
Mhm.
That thing that I just set up, I didn't know why I was setting it up on page 20, on page 70, like that goes here too. Like there's nothing better than that.
So I know you've done a bit of writing now yourself with your short El Paso 1155, and then on your feature Kill Me Again. Are those your first two screenwriting ventures?
No, I got a lot of screenplays out there. In fact, one of the screenplays I wrote, I did Kill Me Again, something really contained and lower budget, so that I have the opportunity to direct my other screenplays because people were interested, studios were interested in it, but they're like, who's going to direct it? Because it's clearly not going to be me. So I said, well, I need to do it because my short wasn't enough. But the short did well enough where people trusted me to give me a certain amount of money to do Kill Me Again. I created that, and I want to do it really contained. I thought Groundhog's Day, a time loop scenario would be great because we're using similar settings over and over and over again. And I made it from the perspective of a serial killer. It's super fun. We got to do a whole episode talking about this, man. I'll talk about this forever, man. But it's a blast, man. It's fun. It's similar to Over Your Dead Body in a ways. There's a mash of genres. It's where it's definitely a lot of slasher, but there's also a lot of humor
Hmm.
and like being in a theater watching people out loud at the jokes and the things that you made. Like there's no better feeling than that. And that's what Kill Me Again is, and it's also deeply dramatic in points.
I love a good dramedy, and I don't know if Over Your Dead Body, I get sort of some dramedy, but definitely like black
Well,
dark
there is.
comedy in there as well.
Yeah,
And
if you
you
pay
know,
attention to it, there's a really great it's great couples therapy, and there's a really great lesson to be learned in that film. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. I just it's one
I,
we gotta get it
I
out
thought
there.
that's
So we gotta get it out there, man, because this is a movie, Over Your Dead Body, that you gotta see in theaters because, like, to be a part of a communal experience where everybody's laughing and reacting to that movement and just share moment to share that with other people from the beginning to end, not just like a couple points here or there, and it's something that you'll never forget. It's like when you watched, Something About Mary or, I don't know, Airplane or something like that. It's like it's one of those you always remember when you're in the theater, The Big Lebowski, we're laughing at this movie, and it's one of those real experiences. It's great. It'll be great on streaming and all that, but you got to see it in theaters while you can.
no, I agree. Maybe to my shame, I haven't seen too many comedies, and because I think I was for too long of the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to save my ticket money for the big spectacles, and
What about the
but no,
Napoleon
and honestly,
Dynamite? I said
River,
I'm cutting you off. Like
right,
I thought of
right.
another one when I first saw it. I had no idea what this movie was. I'm gonna watch this Napoleon Dynamite in a film. It looks. I like to not know what a movie's about and going to movies. That's why I saw that. Laughing all the way through, man. Like what an experience, man.
No, that's a great one, and Nacho Libre too. I guess I think made by the same people,
Yeah,
both hilarious.
yeah,
Enjoy
yeah,
both of those.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How did I cut you off? What were you saying, man?
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. No, I was saying that RiverRun itself has kind of helped shift me towards, it's made me more open to going to see like your just serious dramas, or just a very intimate dramas in the theater or a comedy in the theater. And I found a local movie club that meets at Aperture
Oh,
Cinema once a
cool,
month,
cool.
and we talk about the movie afterwards. Yeah, I've really come to appreciate that experience. I'm like, I need to broaden my theater horizons here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, I like going to movies where like, okay, I got the setup. I'm 20 minutes in, and like, all right, I get it. I know it's gonna happen. There's no twist or whatever. Like, I get it. I know what it is. And that's what a lot of the IPs, big movies are. And it's more of a spectacle of the big FX and the action and the actors looking sexy and all that. But I like something more gritty and something more real. And especially I like not knowing exactly what's gonna happen. Like, Over Your Dead Body has what like four major twists in it. And oh shit, oh, that's what that was. Like, I love that, man.
No, we really enjoyed Will and I did the structure where you introduce these new characters and then it rewinds and shows
Yeah,
how they
yeah,
got there. I thought that
yeah,
was really
yeah,
cool and well
yeah,
executed too, I thought.
yeah. Hard to do a flashback, right?
So you mentioned also in the Q&A, just you really enjoyed working with, with all of the actors, but you mentioned in particular a connection you had with Juliette Lewis. Had you all been in a film before together prior
Nope,
to Over Your Dead Body?
we were forced to hang out because we were, well, first of all, we were part of the 3 villains, me, her, and Timothy Olyphant, but we were, trailer
Hmm.
neighbors. we got everything at the same time and all that, so it's great. We're forced, but she was like a mother hen, like wonderful, sweet human. Yeah, she's not protective over anything as far as she'll talk about any of her movies, any of her history, any of that. But, like, when we go to theaters or whatever, like, or we go to dinner, like, like social awkwardness, like, I gotta go to those dinners with all these actors and producers and all that. I was always like, "Where's Juliette? I'm gonna go hang out with her." And she was probably like, "Who's this creepo stalking me?" But anyway, that was my comfort zone.
Yeah, obviously her character is not someone you want to hang out in real life. Is she kind of like the opposite of that? I know a lot of
Well,
times
that's
it seems people that play villains are often the opposite of their characters in real life. It seems like.
she's just a funny, smart, caring person. Kinda reminds me of her character in Gilbert Grape in her real life. You talk about how she's in the talk about actors, she's an actor's actor, man. It's like she just goes for it, and you love that. She sells her soul to the moment and the scene, and she has no ego and no worrying about how she looks or how she's presented in this scene. She gotta say this word in a certain way because it sounds cool. She just goes for it, and she believes, and it's really inspirational, and she expects the director to be able to rein her in and direct her towards the right path.
No, I really enjoyed the dynamic between the three of you. I thought it was just hilarious. Then your characters, it seemed, were really well defined. You each had unique characteristics and approaches and personalities, and that really came out well. I thought that was cool. You had mentioned also in the Q&A, you took a little bit different approach to your character than you normally do for I think you said the heavies that you often play, like, but you took a different approach this time around.
Yeah,
Was there
yeah,
anything
because
in particular that inspired that, or?
I'm not nothing inspired, it's just, I just kind of approached it way different, and that's what the opportunity was for me is to approach this guy that's obviously a bad guy. He's in prison, and he's probably Aryan, he's part of that. He's got, I don't wanna say or give everything away, but he's clearly done some bad things, but yet he's got a mentality of what, like a 10 years old, and, he's something to, my favorite scene is when, Juliet comes running over to me like, "Toddy, why would anybody do this to him? He was such a great person." That's one of my favorite scenes. But yeah, I just approached it, yeah, I just whatever my normal choice would be, I just went opposite of that during the whole thing. Even the way I walk like a juvenile kid.
So I'm going to give the listeners a little bit of a spoiler warning here. So hey, if y'all haven't seen it yet, cut it off right here. So I'm going to ask him a question about something that a little bit of a spoiler, at least for your character. So hey guys, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. But I had to ask because this is just crazy scene, the stabbing scene that it somehow doesn't kill you, but should have killed you. What was that like with the choreography and just the prosthetics and just everything that had to go into that? I'm sure a lot of technical details. What was that experience like?
That was the easy part for me. I was just taking knives, but the whole thing was 87 North, the guys that did 8711, the guys that did John Wick and Bullet Train and all that, like they're professional fight
Mhm.
choreographers. They're the guys in Hollywood. In this fight scene that I thought, because it's written like the Mr. and Mrs. Smith fight scene where they tear apart the house and all that.
Mhm.
I thought we might be doing this for the better part of the week, and we did that for less than a day and a half, which was amazing. And you watch us because we do a lot of bits, man, and they found a way to do it and make it look. This is the most. I've done a lot of fight scenes, and obviously done a lot of fight scenes, but this is the one that I'm the most proud of, and the one that sells the best. And I don't know how it's funny all the way through, but it is, and it's great. So yeah, I'm really proud of this one.
Yeah, that's got to be difficult line to walk between. I mean, obviously, this is extreme violence, and yet somehow that comedic tone is maintained. And
Oh, that was all
uh,
Jorma.
I, don't- yeah, it's impressive, very impressive. I thought.
"Hey, why don't you say this here? Why don't you do this here?" Like, he completely hands off the fight scene, but, like, he always, "Oh, it'd be funny if you did this." Is all these things. It was great, man. And that was all just him making shit up.
Nice. Well, we got just a few minutes left here in our time. I don't want to take too much of yours. So we like to finish our interviews, at least this season. We've been asking a question of all our guests. What's in your nerd hat? Like, is there a TV show, a movie, a novel, comic book, you name it, just something in the realm of arts and entertainment that you're really excited about right now to share? Something that you're not in, I guess we'll say.
You know what? Thing that came to my mind, because I watched part of it again last night, I just keep watching Altman's The Long Goodbye over and over and over again. It's one of those Detective Robert Marlowe things, and it was filmed in the '70s, and just something about the way he shot it and the way it's done. The way the dialogue is like movies now, like when they do dialogue, it's right in your face. But if they're talking over there, like you hear it over there, like you want to bend in to listen to what he's saying. Like there's something about that movie that I just keep watching over and over and over again. And every time I pick up something different, Robert Altman was a real master. So that's been something I've been geeking out on a lot lately.
Nice. I'll have to put that on my list. I've certainly heard of it. I have not yet caught up with that. So Robert Altman's The Long Goodbye.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
awesome.
fun, man. It's a lot of fun. All right. The best ending ever. It's just really subtle, but really cool. Yeah.
Well, Keith, is there anything else you'd like to plug, whether it be
That's it,
Instagram,
man.
upcoming projects before you leave?
I got a couple movies. I got Terminal List coming out and a movie called Edge of Normal coming out with Carlota Pereda. She did Piggy in a Spanish movie. Kill Me Again is just Keith Jardine 205 on Instagram. Watch Kill Me Again. It's on Tubi and Prime. And I'd love to talk to people about this. Like this is my passion. This is all my heart. I probably took 2 years off my life making this movie. So I love to talk about it, man. So watch that movie and let me know what you think.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks again. And wish you well with the rest of the, I guess, press tour. And I guess the festival runs over for Over Your Dead Body, but I imagine you still got a few junkets you got to go to.
I think I'm going to go do
promote it,
TNA.
right?
I think I'm going to go TNA wrestling. That just popped up on my thing. So we'll see.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. And some horror cons and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, cool.
All right,
Well, thank you so much. And
thanks, bro.
have a good day.
Yep. Great, man. Thank you.
What does it mean for something to be nerdy when it comes to the realm of arts and entertainment, which is where we like to live with the Nerd Hat podcast? What does it mean for something to be nerdy? Like nostalgia, that's easy to explain, right? It's something like for us as the host that reminds us of our childhood, or it might be something from our parents' childhood that they watched with us that reminds us of our relationship with our parents, things like that. That's pretty easy to explain. Mildly inappropriate humor, it might be a little hard to define, but that could be a wacky comedy. That could be just us having fun with whatever topic we're covering. But what does it mean for something to be nerdy? Does it have to be Marvel or DC in the comic realm, or you name your fantasy property? Does it have to fit within those realms, or could it be the latest independent drama that you just are so excited about? Maybe it's a documentary that you watched that has got you excited to get out and make a difference in the world. Who knows? Does it bring out your inner nerd? Does it make you want to share it with other people? Does it inspire you to go and create something similar yourself? That, to me, is really what it means to be nerdy. So, you've been listening for the better part of 4 years to what Laura, myself, and Will, and our guests pull out of our nerd hats. We want to know what's in yours. So picking back up on May 18th, we're going to be going back to the, hey, let's shake the hat up and pull a random topic out format. So we need some contributions to the hat. We need to know what you would like us to cover. And maybe you'd be interested in coming on and talking about it with us. Either way, we'd love to know what your ideas are for topics to cover. So hit us up on Patreon, on Instagram, on Facebook, comments on Spotify, on our website. Let us know what you would like us to cover. What's in your nerd hat? All right. Well, let's move on to a feature film. And this was one that both Will and I went to see together. All right, let's watch the trailer real quick here. A few moments later.
You guys saw that?
Were you surprised?
You guys saw that?
Yes, we did.
You guys saw that?
Yeah, it was at the festival.
How long was it?
An hour and 45 minutes.
Was it good?
It was, actually.
William, was it good?
Yes, lots of cussing.
Wow!
Some man prison booty, but otherwise good.
Man prison booty? Did someone get raped?
Well, technically, the
no,
booty.
answer my
I
question.
just wanted
Did
to
someone
say
get
to
raped?
drop that
Almost.
for the comedy of it.
Almost?
Almost.
Lots to talk though.
Who?
So, spoiler warning.
Man prison booty? I'm sorry. I just heard a Baptist boy say man prison booty, and I really don't know how to feel about that.
So we
William!
should talk a little bit about what it's about first.
I'm sorry. Okay, one thing. I have seen this trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it probably popped up on Instagram.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
I thought that
Violence.
was his daughter for a minute. So I was confused because he does.
He is older, and he's about 10 years, supposed to be about 10 years older
Well,
in
he
the
looked a
film.
lot older than 10 years.
In real life, probably maybe a little bit more than 10 years, because well, not much.
So
He's around my age.
You little bad boys saw this?
I didn't
Yes,
know
we
it was
did.
in
I
it.
am so impressed. Wow.
It was very violent.
Oh, this is the
It's
violent
extremely
one. Are
violent.
we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is the violent one. Okay.
There were times that-
Gosh. So, guys, tell me please about this. What is happening?
What is
So-
not happening?
What?
Yeah,
Everything's
right.
happening.
So it's
Back
about
and forth.
a very dysfunctional married couple.
Okay.
They retreat to a secluded cabin, ostensibly to repair their relationship, while each is secretly plotting to murder the
That's
other.
Apparently
That
owned
is
by the man's
that is the
father.
premise.
That's it.
Huh?
I believe the cabin was owned by the man's father.
Yes, yes.
What was so
Yes.
violent about it?
Oh, well,
The shotgun.
I mean, you have two people trying to kill each other. and-
Lawnmower.
Did anyone die?
Lots.
yes,
Who?
several people died.
Who?
More than once.
I don't want to
too.
ruin it. Ruin it for me.
So let's go through the cast just real quick here. Cast of characters. So you have the main married couple played by Samara Weaving. She plays Lisa. Jason Segel plays Dan. So Dan is a kind of down on his luck film director who has sunk to the level of just directing commercials, so to speak. At least that's at Samara kind of like when they argue and they attack each other. That's something one of her low blows. And then she is an aspiring actress who has mostly gotten roles in like local theater productions and things like that.
Mhm.
And that's how we're introduced to them. And we find out fairly early on that he is plotting to
Wow.
kill her up at this cabin because he
So
is
dramatic.
just so, we don't know all the details yet, but he is just so disillusioned with their marriage and obviously so angry at her. He's just like, I'm just gonna end it. So he
dumb.
has plotted with someone that he was apparently in prison with at one point. Apparently he went to prison for something
Wow.
in his past and made a friend who was a little bit creepy, and this friend was willing to help him off his wife.
No.
And
No.
yeah,
No.
not a very smart friend, but a friend-ish acquaintance from his prison days.
Want to be friend.
So he convinces her to come with him to the cabin. She's suspicious, it seems. It was a little unclear to me whether she had like a fully formed plot to kill him beforehand or whether she realized that he might be doing it to her and then formed a plot. I was a little unclear on that point.
I think that the whole thing was insurance money.
Hey.
Yeah, there was some insurance money
$1
involved
bills.
because he's not, if I remember correctly, he's not good with money. He has like wasted away their savings and he's not doing well in his directing career. So he's not making as much money anymore. He had one like apparently successful feature film that he had produced back in the day.
Wow.
But they go to this and they're both kind of comically unsuccessful at killing each other at first. And like, as they're both failing to kill each other, they're wrestling over a gun at one point. They end up accidentally shooting up into the room above. And they then discover that there are 3 escaped convicts hiding upstairs because one of them gets shot in the ass.
After accidentally killing the friend, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The friend who was going to help her kill him, they were wrestling over the shotgun down in the basement.
Mhm.
And they continued to wrestle over that shotgun
And they
throughout the whole
accidentally
house.
shoot his friend and kill him. So then they're so shocked by that at first they're like, they kind of stop trying to kill each other for a bit. But then you get these kind of the foils for the film. These 3 escaped convicts come into the scene and the structure was pretty cool. Well, I don't know if you liked this, but I liked where like you see these characters come in and then it jumps to like it rewinds
I liked
and then
it.
shows you the story from their perspective of like how they got to that point.
Oh.
So
I
it
do
does
like
that.
That's cool.
Does that several
That's cool.
times and it was pretty seamless. So the editing was really good on that point.
It was really good because the other way they could have done it is just done all the events as they happened or something, but that would have not made nearly as much sense. It was much better. Oh, new characters, the backstory. Okay, back to the present.
Yeah, and these
Okay.
3 convicts are played by Timothy Olyphant, who plays Pete.
What is his last name?
Olyphant.
I'm sorry.
It's an Olyphant, Mr. Frodo.
Dude,
No.
what? Isn't that how it's spelled?
I think it is actually how it's spelled in Lord of the Rings, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously that name, it seems like it would be French.
Fun.
But yeah,
Oh, that's so fun.
I saw him most recently in the Alien television show on Hulu, and he did an excellent job in that. And he also does a really good job in this. He's pretty hilarious. And
he was also in The Office.
His compatriots are played by Keith Jardine. We got to meet him after the film wrapped. And
he has a good chin.
He did a
good chin.
Q&A. And then Juliette Lewis plays Allegra. Keith plays Todd. So those are the 3 convicts.
Oh, wait. I don't know her, but
Juliette.
okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you've seen her in something.
Yeah.
All these
She's been in a lot
photos
of
are
things.
of them really young.
She aged so well. Like, she's looked like
I
that
take it back.
for the
Then she's
last
not
30 years.
that picture.
Yeah, and then there's some smaller roles as well. But those were the main characters, along with the dad. Paul Guilfoyle plays Dan's father.
Mm-hmm.
And his character was hilarious as well. He's kind of an over it guy who's in assisted living, but still owns property, owns the cabin. He's had to help Dan out financially multiple times, and he's frustrated with that and frustrated with Dan. You get the idea that he's been kind of hard on Dan, and he's kind of frustrated himself. He misses his days fighting in the Vietnam War. Oddly enough, like he longs for combat again.
Mm-hmm.
So he wishes for combat. Like, I wish for you a war, Dan.
Okay.
Subsequently, it happened. So,
would you watch it again?
Probably.
Okay.
Not a fan of the hyper-violence necessarily, and it is played for comedy multiple times. So, like, I have mixed feelings about that. It's very over the top. It matches the tone of the film. It's like it doesn't take you out of the film at all. It's not that you don't expect that to come necessarily.
I was asking Richard if he would watch it again.
Yeah, and I think I would at some point under the right circumstances. Like I was telling her, like I'm not
like in a church.
Not a huge fan of the hyper violence. It's very realistic. Which special effects were very well done.
Okay, so I have a question for Will. Will, would you watch this again? Would you watch it? Period.
The comedic rape scene.
There was a comedic rape scene? No.
And the uncomfortable, potentially comedic sex scene I could do without.
Was it consensual?
Which
the rape scene, obviously not, but the other one, yes.
But I could do without those. But otherwise, it was a really fun movie. Yes, I agree with Richard. The hyper violence does not make me comfortable. It was a fun film.
Nobody got raped, but there was a near rape, but the potential rapist couldn't get it up. Basically,
he just wasn't in the mood.
He was unable to finish, and then they got interrupted. I forget by what.
Who's he?
Well, he did just get shot in the crotch with a shotgun, so that might be part of it.
Yeah,
that's what you get.
I think that might have been
implied. Wait, who's Todd?
So that's Keith Jardine's character, Todd.
So apparently
he's the rapist. Oh no.
So, I forgot something. Juliette Lewis, she's not actually an escaped convict. She was a prison guard who helped the other 2 convicts escape because she was
what a sweet lady.
She was in love with Pete, or in lust, maybe to be more accurate. But
who wouldn't love those teeth? Look at that.
I think he's just kind of taking advantage of her to get out of prison.
Wait, okay, so who was getting raped?
So Dan. Jason Segel's character, gets almost raped.
He pleaded like a little baby.
Oh no!
But
that's so scary. Yeah, I couldn't watch that.
They managed to bring some humor in it that didn't feel completely out of place, and obviously he doesn't end up getting raped. But at one point they stop because Timothy Olyphant, who plays Pete, looks over at a poster on the wall. He's like, he sees this film, and I guess it's like an indie film, probably like somewhat obscure, not like a mainstream. He's like, "Wait, why do you have that poster on the wall?" And Jason, tells him, like, "Why? I directed that movie." He's like, "Really? I love that movie." So that kind of pauses it. And then something else, I forget what it was, something else ends up interrupting. Or it might have just been that that the other guy couldn't perform, quote unquote.
He
That
couldn't
was
get an
it.
erection. Don't
Yeah.
say perform. It's not a ballet.
We like to dance around it more. It's funnier that way.
That's weird. Makes it so much worse. Just say erection. Just don't make it sound like a ballet. Don't make it sound like the Nutcracker.
So anyway, so yes, that scene was uncomfortable.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have questions. I want to know how it ends.
All right, spoiler warning, everybody.
Will,
Yes.
This is currently in theaters, so if you don't want to be spoiled, stop now.
if you don't want to be spoiled.
We are going to spoil it.
Okay, so who dies? Who dies?
Everybody. Except for two
Everybody?
people.
Okay,
Well,
who
I
are the
guess
two
which two
people?
people don't die?
Is it the couple?
Yes.
Seriously?
They don't
They
die.
do survive.
So do they make out at the end?
Sort of. They
Really?
do reconcile. They have reconciled by the end of the film, so it has a quote unquote happy ending.
Okay, so why did they reconcile?
Well, I think it was like it
Wow,
took.
you're not as bad as all these ex-convicts.
This is where it's kind of over the top. Is like it took something this serious where they're both trying to kill each other for them to, and then their lives are threatened. Then they have a mutual threat. You know, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like they have these convicts who are now trying to, or at least the potential is there for them to kill them. They're initially just trying to get money out of them.
Okay.
But the threat of being killed is obviously there.
Okay.
So they have to band together, and then you see that they actually do care about one another through that. They don't want each other to get killed by someone else, even though they feel like killing each other. They don't want someone
Only
else to
I
do
get
it.
to kill you, babe.
Right.
No one else, though.
But then they also, like, as they're thinking they're about to die by other people's hands, they end up sharing. There's actually a couple of very extremely well acted by Jason Segel and Samara Weaving, but like you believe it and it's earned, I think, in the course of the film. Like they share some things that they have been holding back, and like he has his issues. Like he tends to be very passive. Doesn't believe in himself. He's has a hard time expressing his feelings or asking for things. It's like you get the impression that he was put down by his father a lot growing up. So she's very frustrated with that.
Oh.
And then we find out, spoiler warning, that she has cheated on him with I think an fellow actor.
Does he know that?
Yeah, he already knew beforehand.
That'll do it.
So that's part of what drove him to want to kill her. Oddly enough, it didn't drive him to want to kill the guy, but
that's
to kill
who I
her.
would kill. Sorry, no.
But yeah, so he has learned of that, and she admits that she did that in part because she wanted to get caught.
Oh, no.
She wanted him to fight for them, and he didn't. And eventually he's like, you know what? You're right. I didn't fight for us.
Oh.
So there's like revelations, and they're like processing their relationship as they're going through all of this.
All right. Some truth bombs.
And then they ultimately survive it, due in part to his dad coming to help them towards the end. And sadly, his dad also gets killed. Yeah, that sucked.
But he's like
but
John
I think
Wayne
he kind
or
of
something for a little bit there.
I think he kind of wanted to, in some ways, though. He wanted to go out in battle. So, like, he gets to come and save the day. But yeah, they do eventually survive.
Wow.
And Will, do you want to tell her about the ending?
Well, they get rescued, but oh, you mean the last guy who died, or the ending, like the epilogue?
The very end, like after they get rescued.
Yes. So they probably do a lot of lying about what actually happened, but they make a movie based on the events, and then that movie generates enough money for them to get out of debt.
Oh.
And Jason Segel's character Dan gets this I don't remember his name, but he's a famous comedian, but they like jacked him up with all these muscles for their
he was
version
already
of the movie.
jacked.
Huh?
He was already jacked.
He was?
Camille Nanjiani makes a cameo.
I didn't know. I saw him in Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
Yeah, he was in Ghostbusters, the last Ghostbusters film, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he was jacked, so I don't know when that happened.
So he got jacked leading up to the Eternals, like Marvel's The Eternals, because he was in that.
Makes
So he
sense.
got jacked, I think, in preparation for that film, and he just liked being in such good shape. He just stayed that way.
Nice.
Yeah, but I thought that was hilarious because he's like making a joke out of it because he's like
Yeah.
ripped his shirt off.
It's not his.
He's
It's
got
not
like
his
his shirt off.
personality.
Right? No, it's not.
It's funny.
But he's playing like a action hero. Like Dan has written his character as sort of like a.
Yeah.
Well, the two of them both, like Lisa and Dan, get written into it as, and then she gets to star as herself
Mhm.
in it, and then Dan directs it, and this like revives both. Well, it helps her career take off, and it revives his career. But they did leave out the part where they were trying to kill each other at first.
And how they killed the would-be friend.
Yeah, that
He's
part
now
too.
been
They
killed
left
by
that part out.
villain. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so it's like
Well,
they're not completely honorable
Lord.
at the end, but you're sort of rooting for them
this.
as well.
Okay.
You know.
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I'm slightly disturbed, but I think I would give it a try. I might fast forward some of the unsavory parts, and sometimes maybe the gruesome parts, because I kind of like gross things,
I
but
was disturbed too,
too
Laura.
much is too much.
The violence
So
was very realistic, and
the what?
it was very visceral and realistic. Like the
Yeah, so I
violence,
might
like
go through or fast forward, but yeah, I'd give it a try. I'd give it a try.
there was a little bit of over the top where like Todd, gets stabbed by both Dan and Lisa.
Multiple times.
I don't know, like almost a dozen times. He's got like knives sticking all out of him, and somehow he's
We got Boromir.
somehow he's still alive and comes back out, and then
Later when the plot needs him.
then he ends up getting shot in the head, or his head gets blown off rather by
Oh
the
my gosh.
dad who comes to the rescue. And Keith Jardine says he often in the Q&A he was talking about how he was a former MMA fighter.
Oh,
and
that's where he got that chin.
yeah, like so he
I think you're born
he
with
often
those.
plays, as he put it, the heavy in films, so he doesn't make
If
it
you want to fight, Will, we can.
Go ahead, make
can.
my day on the other side
I
of this
would
webcam.
love to fight you. It would be awesome. Oh my goodness. I would just, oh man.
She's been waiting for years for a reason to fight someone.
What?
Just try it. Just try it.
All my pent up rage, it would be fantastic. No, I think
I don't have pent-up rage. I just have pent-up
I think your
quitting.
body suppresses it. It's
Think your
it's
body
probably in there, man. You gotta let it out.
It is.
I'm gonna lay down now, and
No, I think that like
it's my first death. Be gentle.
no, I think like depending, I don't know. Yes, sometimes you're born with a chin, sometimes you're not, Will.
How do you develop a chin after? How does
I
that
don't know.
work? Mhm.
I don't know. But like there are types of people who are MMA fighters who all look the same because they all like
They're probably
Yeah,
built
probably
for it.
it might be because their jaw has been broken at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Like, but
That's true too.
I
I'm just
think
guessing.
broken noses are very attractive. I don't know. I gotta think for broken noses.
And blood everywhere.
No, I just think
where
they're
it's
pretty.
grown back and it's a
Yeah,
little crooked.
just a
It's
little
like
crooked.
you've been through things, sir.
No, I don't know. I just think it's nice. That's all.
Weird. Fish.
At least I don't like feet, Will.
I don't like feet. That was a
I'm
joke.
just kidding.
But speaking of feet, no, you know what? I'm not going to share that.
No, you need to.
I know someone who has weird feet, and the doctor saw the feet once, and the doctor said those feet are weird. And this person's
Oh,
their pinkies, I don't think there's a bone in that. And their pinky toes.
so it's just like flops around like.
Richard, don't do that.
It's like,
No. It's
well,
so
then
tiny.
it would need to have some kind of bone in it.
And it curves in weird.
Oh, that's
Mm.
unfortunate. Well, there you go. So this was interesting. I'm slightly disturbed, but I enjoyed our time together.
Together. All right. Well, so that was the Centerpiece screening at the RiverRun International Film Festival, and it went wide release literally 2 days later. So now it's in theaters, not necessarily everywhere, but it's it's in quite a few theaters. It's
Now you can be disturbed too.
yeah. So folks, you can go see it for yourself if you want to at a most likely at a theater near you, particularly if you live in a large metropolitan area or a decent-sized city like we do. It's playing at the Grand, I think, where we're at, and possibly a couple other places as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, check it out. All right, Nerdheaders, thanks for joining us for our RiverRun retrospective. Stay tuned for the bonus episode where we talk about the Films with Class Elementary Age program, as well as the Saturday morning cartoons. And we include an interview with Keith Cantrell, who animated, produced, directed the Monkey Gino film. That's coming up later this week. And then on May 18th, we are going to be resuming our normal bi-weekly schedule with pulling crap out of the hat. So look forward to that.
When we do that, hopefully the camera will be working.
Yes, battery went out, but the audio is still running. So until next time, Nerd Hatters,
Sayonara.
live long and prosper.
Go home, Will.
Go home, go home, go home to Bonnie G. The Nerd Hat podcast was produced in partnership with Nerd Hat Productions, which is owned by me, Richard Best. So it's produced by me. Wait. What is this music? Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find my normal music. There we go. Okay, so the Nerd Hat podcast is produced by Nerd Hat Productions. I want to give a big thank you to my co-hosts, Will Boyer and Laura Morales. They have been such a big part of the success of this podcast. It would not be possible without them. I mean that sincerely. I would have quit a long damn time ago. Thanks also to all of our many collaborators and guests over the years, and most recently Elijah Miller for giving us a new logo. While I was involved in creating it, I did not do the artwork. He did it, and it was amazing. So, the Nerd Hat podcast was recorded by me, Richard Best, and edited by me, Richard Best, with a little bit of assistance from Riverside.fm. I appreciate that program. It has been very helpful for virtual recordings, like on snow days, things like that. You name it. Anyway, I digress. Until next time, nerds, nerd hatters, nerdettes, assorted nerd persons, live long and prosper.